Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. You know that bucket list dream of just hitting the open road? Just absolute freedom, sweeping North American landscapes flying by your window, and absolutely no strict schedule dragging you back to where you started? It sounds incredible, right? But pulling off a cross-continent drive on a budget? Well, that requires a bit of strategy. And more importantly, it requires one specific, absolute game changer of a tool. So today, we're going to explore exactly how to master the Canada to US cross-border road trip using the ultimate travel hack, www.carrentaloneway.com.
So ask yourself, have you ever seriously dreamed of taking that epic cross-border trip? Maybe cruising down the East Coast or cutting through the gorgeous Pacific Northwest? But then you completely dreaded the logistics of getting the car all the way back home. I mean, nobody wants to spend their precious vacation days doing a massive multi-day U-turn just to return a rental vehicle to the starting line. It's totally exhausting, it literally doubles your gas budget, and frankly, it just eats up your valuable time.
Now, what's really interesting here is how this all comes down to a fundamental choice. You're basically comparing the old, restrictive method of traveling with true, total itinerary freedom. You can either stay tethered to your origin city with a traditional round-trip headache, or you can embrace the absolute freedom of a one-way trip, simply dropping your car off right at your final destination. And the open secret to unlocking that freedom, without totally bankrupting your travel fund, is relying heavily on www.carrentaloneway.com.
Let's quickly define exactly what we're talking about so we're all on the same page. An international one-way rental is beautifully simple. You pick up a vehicle in a Canadian city and you return it in a completely different city within the United States. That's it. You don't drive back. This type of rental has absolutely exploded in popularity lately. It's literally the perfect setup for budget road trips, for professionals relocating for work, students moving across the border, or even just multi-city tourists who want to fly out of a totally different airport.
But here is exactly where the dream can suddenly turn into a bit of a financial nightmare. Rental companies love to tack on a massive list of frustrating hidden fees for international journeys. We're talking steep drop-off fees, sneaky little border crossing charges, super rigid mileage limitations, airport surcharges, young driver fees, and those really aggressive insurance upgrades. And honestly, if you aren't paying close attention, these extra costs will completely wreck a carefully planned budget. So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that you do not have to fall victim to these exorbitant fees. You have a choice. The smartest travelers avoid this trap altogether simply by comparing their options before they ever even think about hitting that reserve button. And they do this by using the global comparison platform www.carrentaloneway.com. It's specifically built to spotlight those hidden costs so you're never caught off guard at the rental counter.
Section 1. The Smart Comparison Solution. Let's look at how to automate your savings at www.carrentalononeway.com. Think about your normal booking process for a second. You probably open, 10 different browser tabs? You check Enterprise, then Hertz, then Avis, Budget, Alamo. The list goes on. It's incredibly time-consuming, and honestly, trying to line up all those different cross-border policies is just confusing. This is exactly why www.carrentaloneway.com is the perfect antidote. It takes all those major global car rental brands and instantly aggregates them into one fast platform. You get to see all the cross-border capabilities and pricing in a single, super easy glance.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how effortless it becomes to plan the most popular routes. Take Toronto to New York, for example, one of the most affordable and frequently traveled international routes out there, or Vancouver to Seattle, which offers highly competitive pricing for a really quick Pacific Northwest jump. Even Montreal to Boston, a total classic for East Coast tourism. For every single one of these trips, you just plug the route into the platform, and boom, you instantly see who has the absolute best deal. But hey, it's not just about those quick city hops. There are some incredible longer, more scenic, and family-oriented routes to consider too. Calgary to Denver, unmatched if you want a breathtaking mountain road trip right through the Rockies. Ottawa to Chicago is always a huge hit for both business and leisure. And then, wow, the big one, Quebec City all the way down to Orlando. That is a legendary route for family vacations. Just pack up the kids, load the luggage, and head south. Navigating the pricing for these massive multi-day journeys used to be a headache, but now it's totally effortless through www.carrentalonway.com. All right, moving right along to section 2, pro tips for saving. Let's see how you can truly maximize your budget at www.carrentaloneway.com. Okay, let's dive into some highly actionable advice here. If you want the cheapest possible deal, there are 3 golden rules you absolutely must follow. Step 1, book early. Seriously, advanced reservations almost always lock in lower prices because the vehicle inventory hasn't been depleted yet. Step 2, choose economy. Smaller, fuel-efficient cars are fundamentally cheaper to rent, and they save you a total fortune on gas. And step 3, actually this is the non-negotiable one, always compare multiple providers. Rental rates and international drop-off policies vary wildly from brand to brand, so running your search through www.carrentaloneway.com is essential to protect your wallet. Of course, an economy car isn't going to cut it for everyone, right? You really need to match the vehicle category to your specific trip. Economy cars are great for the ultimate budget, but maybe you need a compact car for easy city parking in Seattle or New York. Doing that long Quebec to Orlando drive? Midsize sedans are going to offer that much-needed comfort. Hitting winter routes or bringing the family? You'll definitely want to filter for SUVs. Got a massive group? Look for minivans. The beauty here is that the platform lets you easily filter and compare all these different vehicle categories from leading suppliers simultaneously. Now, while you're filtering for those vehicles, you absolutely need to keep your eyes peeled for specific promotions. Finding unlimited mileage is a real game changer for long-distance North American travel. You definitely do not want to be slapped with a per-mile penalty when crossing multiple states. Also, remember that avoiding peak holiday seasons will naturally drop your price. But even during busy times, you can often score exclusive SUV discounts, family vehicle specials, or super competitive airport pickup deals right on the platform. And pro tip: sometimes downtown city offices offer way better rates than airports, so play around with flexible pickup locations during your search.
So to summarize the immense value we're looking at here, searching manually is basically a relic of the past. Travelers genuinely trust www.carrentaloneway.com because it fundamentally simplifies international travel. You get a lightning-fast platform, fiercely competitive pricing, and direct access to all the major global suppliers. Plus, it explicitly supports cross-border routing. That means you won't accidentally book a car only to find out at the rental counter that it's legally not allowed out of Canada. The whole booking process is just incredibly seamless.
Which brings us to our final provocative thought. How much money are you actually losing by not comparing? Because prices and policies vary so wildly between rental providers, booking your cross-border trip blindly means you are almost certainly leaving a substantial amount of money on the table. You're basically volunteering to pay hidden fees. So before you map out your next great North American road trip, do yourself a favor. Take 2 minutes, visit www.carrentaloneway.com, and guarantee you're getting the absolute best deal. Safe travels out there, everyone.